Things get just a trifle hairy for a young girl who leaves the outback to look for work as an actress. The Marsupials, Howling 3, next on HBO.
On the next First and 10, TD finds a new QB in cell block D.
I'm your quarterback, Johnny Gunn.
I'm a coach, not a parole officer.
And now, playing quarterback for the California Bulls, it's number 129876421, Vito Don't.
And Bubba finds Erlene in room 103.
Lord. What? Let me look. Let me look.
First and 10. Do it again. Tomorrow.
Week 6 in the NFL saw Herschel Walker become a Viking. Bo comes back to the silver and black, and Pittsburgh gets sweet revenge on the Browns. Get highlights of every game when Len Dawson and Nick Bonaconti host HBO's Inside the NFL. The Cowboys are 0-6, and Cover Story spends a day with their former coach, Tom Landry. Where Are They Now catches up with former Miami great Bob Kuchenberg. Those stories and more on HBO's Inside the NFL. Thursday on HBO.
For the best time on TV this weekend, make it HBO. Friday at 8, join host Tim McCarver as he takes us through those sports memories that'll live on forever for all the wrong reasons. Don't miss the premiere of Not So Great Moments in Sports, Take 3. Then Double Feature Friday hosts a Hellraiser twin bill. At 9, Hellraiser. At 10:30, the premiere of Hellbound Hellraiser 2. And at midnight, an all-new episode of The Kids in the Hall. Saturday, Billy Crystal hosts his own night. At 8, he stars with Alan King and Jo Beth Williams in the premiere of Memories of Me. At 10, he goes behind the Iron Curtain and brings down the house. Don't miss the premiere of his brand new comedy special from Russia, Billy Crystal, Midnight Train to Moscow. At 11:30, he stars with Gregory Hines in Running Scared. Sunday at 8, Rebecca De Mornay and Mary Gross star in the premiere of the hilarious comedy, Feds.
I'm Dana Fleming for HBO Entertainment News. In Los Angeles, Billy Crystal welcomes celebrities and friends, including Rob Reiner, Martin Short, and Jo Beth Williams, to a preview of his latest comedy special, Billy Crystal, Midnight Train to Moscow. The HBO special features Crystal performing on stage and in skits taped around the Soviet capital.
I wanted them to know that I really wanted to be there and that I wasn't going to be all cookies and cream. I was going to take some shots at them, and they were ready for them.
It's the first time Americans are doing comedy for Russians, and I think it's great.
Then it was a quick trip cross-country to New York's Russian Tea Room, where Crystal previewed the special for his East Coast comrades.
Oh, it was wonderful. Really great. I've laughed very hard. I loved it.
Billy Crystal, Midnight Train to Moscow, pulls into HBO October 21st. In boxing, there's no stopping heavyweight champion Mike Tyson or the amount of publicity surrounding him. A hard-hitting book on boxing and the champ by New York Times sports writer Phil Berger analyzes the reasons for Tyson's success.
That quickness of his feet enables him to avoid punishment. We haven't seen him really bleed yet. We haven't seen him get a cut on his face. You know, he's avoided punishment and doesn't have the scars that his violent sport usually confers on a guy.
Blood Season, Tyson in the World of Boxing is available in bookstores. In the meantime, Tyson's preparing for his 37th career match. He'll fight Canadian heavyweight champion Donovan Razor Ruddock November 18th in Edmonton, Canada. Will the razor be sharp enough, or will Tyson turn him into a dull blade? The fight airs live on HBO. At the box office, John Travolta and Kirstie Alley fight a love match of their own in Look Who's Talking. The film takes place from the point of view of Alley's newborn baby, whose voice is provided by Bruce Willis.
The point of view of the baby I had never seen, and I thought, man, this is either really horrible or really great. The script was so funny that I thought it was worth the shot.
Woody Allen takes another shot at the box office this week with Crimes and Misdemeanors. The film stars Allen, Mia Farrow, Angelica Houston, and Martin Landau, who says Allen complimented him on his portrayal.
He said, maybe it's because we come from the same neighborhood, which we do. I said, well, I don't talk like this, Woody. And he says, neither do I. I said, well, there goes that theory.
I'm Dana Fleming for HBO Entertainment News.
Aidan Quinn is Sam Paxton, just a guy trying to do the right thing. The DA wants his testimony. The mob wants his head, and life is hell. Aidan Quinn stars in the HBO original movie in October, Perfect Witness.
If you're young and this talented, you ought to be able to take that talent and run with it.
We're moving base camp, kids. Cover your tracks.
That is, if you're not already on the run.
It's wonderful having a new name every 6 months.
You can't keep running away from something that you had nothing to do with. You deserve your own chance.
HBO presents the multi-talented River Phoenix in the role that was nominated for an Oscar. Running on Empty. Premieres Sunday, October 29th on HBO. The best movies.
Taking control of people's bodies, people's minds, people's children.
How long have you been smoking rock?
About 8 or 9 months.
A child's gonna be born with a cocaine habit.
Try it twice in history.
America Undercover takes you face to face with the fiercest enemy ever to wage war on the United States of America. Crack USA. Premieres Friday, November 10th, only on HBO.
They call him Johnny Handsome.
Hold it. We're working with him? Why don't you give us all a break? Put a bag on his head.
He's a small-town hood who lives in the violent shadows of New Orleans, living out his destiny until fate intervenes.
You are in the lockdown ward at St. Matthew's Charity. I run a program that deals with reconstructive surgery. How would you like a new face?
Johnny Handsome was directed by Walter Hill, best known for Red Heat and 48 Hours.
It's a story, it's a character, it's a series of characters, it's about a dilemma, and it presents what one character did within that dilemma.
Johnny Handsome stars Mickey Rourke, Ellen Barkin, Elizabeth McGovern, Forrest Whitaker, Lance Hendrickson, and Morgan Freeman.
I think the hardest thing about a movie is casting. You simply say to yourself, this person has got something that is kind of mysteriously right for the part, and that is hopefully beyond what you were looking for.
Hill knew that to portray the provocative characters of Johnny Handsome, he would have to bring together a distinctive ensemble cast. To create the role of Johnny, he turned to the star of 9½ Weeks and Angel Heart, Mickey Rourke.
He's a fella that's been born with a terrible affliction, and has chosen a life of crime.
What's the matter? Afraid of being normal?
Is that normal? I forget where you come from.
It's kind of hard to talk about Mickey. I mean, I found my own relationship with him to be very positive. He's a very hard-working actor. He has great integrity.
You just relax. Think about pleasant thoughts of the old before you know it.
Forrest Whitaker plays the more idealistic character of the doctor who supervises the operations on Johnny and sees to it that he gets a new face and the chance at a new life.
I'm the case officer assigned to this boy. Any information pertaining to him is my business. Now, let me ask you again, how is he? Is he going to be all right?
The Morgan Freeman character, he is a deeply cynical police officer, and when it comes to giving this character a new start, predicts that he will take the twisted road.
I know who you are, and I know what you are. And we both know right where you're going, don't we, Johnny?
The Elizabeth McGovern character is probably the first positive relationship he's ever had in his life.
I'm not so sure that I'm what you want.
I'm a big girl. I don't need you to tell me what I want. I know what I want.
She represents one avenue of choice for him.
Johnny is torn between the promise of a happy future and old enemies, played by Ellen Barkin and Lance Hendrickson, who killed his best friend and now tempt his vengeance.
I tell you something, sweetheart. Looking at you gives me some bad thoughts.
Well, it sounds like you know what you're talking about.
Sonny and Rafe represent the furies that taunt and torment him.
I'm gonna take him out big when the time gets right.
What the film is probably about more than anything else is that character is more than skin deep, and that what he was before this series of operations governs his own future.
Nobody picks a fight like HBO.
That should be it.
move in and rough these guys.
This may be the most brutal, even round you've ever seen in boxing. Spectacular right front, but Leonard is in trouble again. Spence is in a world of trouble right now. On the fence by the pound for pound in the world. A left hand, and Camacho's hurt. Second turn. And Ray Leonard do it. We have a new era in boxing. Mike Tyson. Thomas trying to hold on, and down he goes. There's a left hand. He's down again. It's over. He can't lose. I refuse to lose. And he's down again.
HBO, the network of champions.
Hi, I'm Tim McCarver. Join me on HBO as we take a look at those sports memories that have athletes saying, I wish I'd stayed home that day. Not only the athletes, but fans too. I mean, what do you suppose was going through this fan's mind when he decided to steal from some of the biggest and meanest men on earth? And how about Marvin Hagler winning his first world championship only to be pelted by angry fans? Or Eddie the Eagle, the British ski jumper. Wasn't he a beauty? Don't you think he should have tried something more down to earth? And how about the running of the bulls in Pamplona? I mean, I can think of a dozen things I'd rather be doing than taunting a 2,000-pound animal. Those are just some of the wacky and zany sports memories you'll see when HBO presents the not-so-great moments in sports, Take 3.
Don't miss Not So Great Moments in Sports, Take 3. Premieres Friday on HBO.
In November, HBO brings home the best time on TV with the brightest stars, the biggest hits. HBO, the best movies.
Her girlfriend didn't see anything, the bartender didn't see anything. I don't have a case.
Kelly McGillis and Academy Award-winning Best Actress Jodie Foster.
Are you scared? Yes. Me too.
The Accused, the best.
The dingo took my baby!
Meryl Streep stars in the true story of a woman's triumph over a mother's nightmare.
I won't be squashed into some dumb act for the public.
A Cry in the Dark, the best.
I'm special just as long as I keep making touchdowns.
Dennis Quaid.
Oh, Gavin, I love you.
Jessica Lange and Timothy Hutton. Everybody's All-American, the best.
You heard that one, huh?
Sally Field hits the big time with Tom Hanks in Punchline, the best. Max von Sydow and Tom Skerritt in the HBO original movie for November. Red King, White Knight. And it's nothing but the best in December with Coming to America and Alien Nation. HBO, the best movies.
"1987 saw the birth of a new kind of horror movie. Hellraiser sprang from the disturbing imagination of one of the masters of modern horror. Now, Clive Barker is back with the eagerly awaited sequel, Hellbound, Hellraiser 2. Directed this time by Tony Randall.
I think Tony's vision, Tony's grasp of the of not just of horror filmmaking and its various techniques, but of science fiction as well, will bring a new flavor to bear on the lament configuration, on the Cenobites, on all of that.
Now all we need is skin.
He's a tough act to follow. He's a brilliant man. I can't make the same kind of film that Clive would. I'm hoping that what I bring to it will show through and will be as entertaining and interesting for an audience.
Hellbound opens up spectacular new dimensions, taking the action into the very depths of hell.
That's exciting, to see the doors open and open and open again and see new panoramas.
Oh, Kirsty. So eager to play, so reluctant to admit it.
I've come for my father!
Many of the original cast of Hellraiser return for this new adventure, including Ashley Lawrence and Claire Higgins.
I had to come back because the Queen of Hell, you see, was an opportunity I just couldn't miss.
Oh, there's lots of nastiness I have to go through this time. There's catwalks and abysses and labyrinths and all sorts of things.
And there are some new faces, like talented young star Imogen Borman.
I play Tiffany, and she's basically the puzzle solver. And without her, no one would be able to get down to hell. And she's meant to be very intelligent.
Look, we're alone in all of this. And we have to help each other. We have to help each other.
It's wonderful to have the same people. I think they're the best crew in the world. And working with Ken Cranham is a joy. I mean, he's just great. He just kind of understood the whole scene. I don't know what that says about him.
In my own childhood, I was very fascinated by such things, and the Chamber of Horrors to me was the perfect place to go, and the first thing I ever built with my Meccano set was a gallows, you know. My nephew, Ben Cranham, who's 12, thinks that this is the best career move I've ever made.
Basically, the worst thing I have to do in this film is pull Julia's skin off when I reach for the puzzle in her hand. And our fingers interlock, and I give a big wrench, and her skin kind of peels off with a disgusting ripping sound.
They changed the rules of the fairy tale. I'm no longer just the wicked stepmother. Now I'm the evil queen. So come on. No! Take your best shot, Snow White.
I think Hellraiser 2 will be much, I think worse is the wrong word. Better in the sense that we use kind of better, scarier, more evil, more disgusting, more kind of blood and all the rest of it. Kind of Hellraiser 1 plus.
I have such sights to show you.
This sort of film, which is basically a special effects film, is like any other text. If you act it well, it works, and if you don't, it doesn't. I thought that Claire was particularly effective.
You're sure this is what you want?
It's what I've always wanted.
There's a lot of nice bits in it that you don't find in most horror films, like Kirsty and Tiffany have a very nice relationship, and there's a few very sad scenes.
It goes further than Hellraiser 1, that's for sure. And it has a more bizarre, even more surreal element to it, I think.
It wanted those, and I brought you.
There was certainly a good deal of blood in the first picture. I think there will be a fair amount in the second one too. You know, you can't make omelets without breaking eggs, and you can't make horror movies without breaking heads.
This month on HBO.
Things get just a trifle hairy for a young girl who leaves the outback to look for work as an actress. The Marsupials, Howling 3, next on HBO.
An innocent girl.
Hi, how you doing?
What the hell is this? My date? Harmless drive. What could possibly go wrong?
Hi.
Trust me.
Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, License to Drive. Tomorrow on HBO.
What airline is this?
Don't miss the next episode of The Kids in the Hall when the discussion turns to romance.
So then she took her long, bony finger, pointed it at me, told me that I had no future as a bicycle courier. Yeah.
High finance.
That's right, I got you $2 $10 right here. Whoa!
And life's little disappointments.
The haircut's over. Haircut's never over. There's not another hair to cut, therefore the haircut's over.
Be sure to see the next episode of The Kids in the Hall. Premieres Friday on HBO.
Saturday, October 21st is my night right here on HBO. You'll see the world premiere of Midnight Train to Moscow, my new comedy special shot entirely in the Soviet Union. Then earlier, you'll see Memories of Me, starring Alan King, myself, and Jill Beth Williams. And following it all will be Running Scared with Gregory Hines and myself, shot in Chicago. It's my night. I'll be hosting it Saturday, October 21st, right here on HBO.
In 1932, the FBI proudly opened their academy, training their agents to be ready for anything.
Welcome to the FBI.
Yes, these founding fathers planned for everything, except Agent DeWitt and Agent Zuckerman. For one, it'll take hard work and a little more experience.
You guys in a gang or something?
I don't think you've got a prayer. For the other, it'll take a miracle.
Come on, we're young, we're single, we're heavily armed.
To succeed, they'll need teamwork.
Double action or single action?
Double or single? Whatever. You know my taste.
A lot of field work.
Ooh, another new experience.
And a lot of footwork. DeWitt and Zuckerman. Together, they might just graduate the toughest course known to woman.
FBI, freeze!
Rebecca De Mornay.
I hope the people of the United States of America will be able to sleep better knowing that women like us have guns.
And Mary Gross.
To law enforcement.
Feds. Premiered Sunday on HBO.
The best in television. Nobody brings it home like HBO.
We're talking serious comedy here, strictly for adults. Naughty Rhymes and Bawdy Times await you on location with Andrew Dice Clay, the Dice Man, cometh next on HBO.
It's time to go north to those crazy streets of Montreal for the HBO Comedy Hour.
Well, you got all the funny people making the funny faces and the funny noises, and it's just a lot of fun.
Talk about fun. What about the dancing Iranian, the giant inflated court jester, the suicidal clown, and the sadomasochistic cyclist? But there's more. How about Robert Klein, Rick Dukerman, Jerry Seinfeld, Julie Brown, Rich Hall, Rowan Atkinson, and Bobcat Goldthwait? It's the Montreal International Comedy Festival on the HBO Comedy Hour. Tomorrow.
Yuppies, they're like roaches, because drugs don't affect them. Abandoned building, Avenue E and 13th Street. There's a bunch of people in there tying off, trying to find a vein. Yuppie walked right through the middle of it all, not even notice what's going on, and go, this is going to make a fabulous ice cream parlor. And the next goddamn day, it is an ice cream parlor.
Premieres Saturday on HBO.
Right out.
Meet the comedy troupe of the 90s.
Watch it, we're great.
Watch
we're
us,
really
we're
great. Oh, we're really wrong. You make the decision.
Flippin' funny guys who will change the face of comedy.
You can't judge if you don't watch. That's right. You can't judge if you don't judge. How's that?
The funniest men in dresses since Monty Python. Their straight-faced zaniness also happens to be refreshingly original.
Chances are, if you turn us on and stay away from the controls, you won't turn us off.
Catch a new episode of The Kids in the Hall every Friday at midnight, or see them every Wednesday night at 10:30. The Kids in the Hall will laugh you silly.
Catch the brightest stars, the best movies with the funniest leading men on HBO. Stars like Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall in the comedy smash Coming to America. Don Amici is up to old tricks again in Cocoon the Return. And the comic fable Things Change. Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger share a funny family resemblance in Twins. They're all here. They're the funniest leading men coming to HBO.
The best time on TV. HBO.
The following program contains frank and explicit language.